Hey folks, I have a quick follow-up for you with regard to the public sector strike in which South African government workers have threatened to shut down the economy because they are unhappy with what their government employer is willing to provide them in terms of a wage increase. So let's get started.
Now let's take you to KwaZulu-Natal, where workers affiliated to the Public Servant Association are intensifying the strike. The union is in a bitter battle with government over wage increases. Workers want 6.5% increase, but government is not willing to exceed its offer of 3%. Our reporter Ngobile Madlala is tracking the strike for us in Durban and joins us this morning. Good morning, Ngobile. I can even see behind you there's already a number of workers there united in song.
Well, definitely, Mfundo, there's a lot of activity. I'm just going to show you. These are some of the workers that have already come here. You will remember that they're asking for that 6.5% that they've been asking for, down from the 10% that they initially asked for. So they are gathering. We are expecting more numbers to come to King Dinuzulu Park. But I'm going to bring in a spokesperson at this point who's going to speak to us about the issues. Mlungisi Ndlovu, if you can just explain to us, what are you hoping to get today?
The message is very clear. The public servants are bleeding. We are tired of government who's arrogant. They've refused to further negotiate. Our demand was 10%. We reduced our demand to 6.5%. The reason why we are on the street, because they decided to close the negotiation. They attack the central collective bargaining. What we are saying, public servants are disrespected by government. Public servants cannot be able to afford to take their keys. These are the ministers like Enoch Godongwan who drive the free car, who stay in the free accommodations. They don't pay anything. Even the flights are free to them. Tunas Nursing, a former disgraced leader of the organized labor who now become arrogant. Our message is very clear. We are saying this is the beginning. PSA is leading this struggle to unite the working class. We are representing over 1 million. We are calling all the sisters union to be able to join us. These workers are bleeding. That's why today we are wearing this red t-shirt to show that we are bleeding. The very same government who refused to give increase to workers in 2020, the very same government who allowed the workers to starve. Karl Marx said the workers of the world must be able to unite.
Okay, a couple things there. Leaving aside the fact that he just quoted Karl Marx, whose ideology has led to millions upon millions of deaths. Firstly, was he not paying attention to what was going on in 2020? The entire world was locked down because of the coronavirus. Global economies shrunk. It wasn't just South Africa. And like all communists, this guy doesn't understand that when you reach a situation where the money has run out, the money has run out. It doesn't matter how much you scream and cry and throw a tantrum like this gigantic baby. There is no more money. Anyway, let's keep going.
We are united today. We are not afraid of government. Home Affairs is not working. Department of Labor is not working. State SA, as the working class, we can be able to shut down the country. President Cyril Ramaphosa, since he took power, he never gave a decent increase. Why him? Why he only concerned about business? Why he neglects the cry of the working class?
But Mlungisi, I see that you're going to be on the street today. How is this going to help in getting the 6.5%?
It's going to help because as we speak today, most of the government are closed down. It's going to wake up government to go to the negotiation. Remember, as PSA we said, we are prepared to engage. We are prepared to engage. With this march will lead to government to call a meeting of chief negotiators. They must stop to be coward. We never expected that the freedom fighters will be the ones that are going to oppress us. We must protect the gain of democracy. Nelson Mandela never went to prison for them to disrespect us. We are united.
This guy obviously doesn't even understand what ideology he represents. He speaks of protecting the gains of democracy. Newsflash, communism is not democratic. And if you're gonna go around quoting Karl Marx like some sort of hero, it's pretty clear, to me at least, that if these people, or people like this guy, were to get the communist utopia that they imagine, they wouldn't be negotiating wage increases. They wouldn't be striking. In a communist society, if you disobey what the government tells you to do, you get shot. He should try doing this in China and see where it gets him.
We are expecting them to move the percentage, to move from 3% and meet our demand.
But then in the case where they say they don't have money and they can't move, what happens then?
The message is very clear. Today we have shut down more that still need to come. If they refuse, they must know. The citizen must be able to join us, because no one will be able to go to Home Affairs. No one will be able to go to Department of Labor, State SA. There will be no courts that will be functional. The citizen will be able to join us. That's why we are saying all the progressive forces must join us. If this government is the government of the people in terms of the Freedom Charter, they will be able to listen to us. We are hoping that they will be able to wake up. If not, we're going to shut down the country. That's why we call all the sisters union, those that have received the certificate, to join us.
But is that not going to affect the worker in the end?
The workers are already suffering. These workers, their cars are being repossessed. Their houses are being repossessed. They depend on machinistas. Some of them have committed suicide. So what more you expect from the public servant? Government does not recognize the public servant. Government disrespected us. Some people are losing their homes. Some kids have been kicked out from the school. So what we say, what more government want from us? President Cyril, to us, you are the sellout of North. In a Kotongwana, you are sellout of North. PSA is saying every working class must be able to join PSA, not in terms of march, join in numbers.
What I want to be clear here is that one thing I actually agree with this guy about is that government ministers do receive excessive perks and privileges far beyond what they should. But that is where my agreement with him ends, and I do not believe that ordinary citizens are going to join this strike action, because it's only making things worse in a country that is already unstable to begin with. And for frame of reference, this guy bitching and whining about money, I guarantee you that he and his fellow strikers take more money home on a monthly basis than I do. And yet I would never think to inconvenience or disrupt the lives of my fellow South Africans. It's petulant, it's childish, and it's stupid.
So lastly, today, what are you doing in the end of the march?
So today we're going to hand over a memorandum to the Prim of KwaZulu-Natal. We are saying, we're raising all those issues. Vacancies are not being filled. In this province alone, over 100,000 posts are not being filled. Community healthcare workers are not being appointed permanently. There are many contract workers. Some of the buildings are collapsing. If they take this right for granted, we're going to hand over the memorandum. South Africans must unite. All the progressive forces must unite. We are united. We are not afraid of them. Workers have held their power to send a signal to government. Tulasnesi must be removed. Inokodongwane must be removed. Those are the puppet. Those are the sellout.
All right, thank you very much. That's Mlungis Ndlovu speaking on behalf of PSA. Now, Mfundo, this continues on the ground. We are seeing more and more people arriving, as you can see behind us. But they're saying that as public servants, they will continue to be on the streets and march for what they believe in until they are heard. But for now, they are going to be delivering that memorandum to the Premier, which we do understand she's already waiting to receive that memorandum.
As with all communist-minded organizations, this guy had no understanding of financial constraints, no understanding of economic conditions and basically no empathy or concern for the damage his behavior and the behavior of his union will do to this country long term. I can understand that it is not fun when you have bills to pay and not enough money to pay them. I know what that's like. But this is pure and simple destruction, and it will get us nowhere. Well, that's not true. It won't get us nowhere. It'll get us into a worse situation than we were already in. If there are any further developments, I'll be sure to let you know. And for now, farewell.